Breaking news! The NFL world is buzzing, and the Chargers are at the center of it all. After their stunning victory over the Kansas City Chiefs in Brazil, Los Angeles heads straight into another classic AFC West showdown, this time under the bright lights of Monday Night Football against their longtime rivals, the Raiders. This isn't just another game, it's a clash packed with storylines. One of the biggest? The return of one of football's most intense coaching rivalries, Jim Harbaugh versus Pete Carroll. Decades of history, bad blood, and unfinished business are all coming back to life on one field. But that's not all. Star players are stepping up, new faces are emerging, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Will the Chargers keep their momentum alive, or will the Raiders play spoiler on national TV? Before we dive into the full breakdown of this epic matchup, including our insider look at Harbaugh versus Carroll and how it could shape the entire AFC West race, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and ring the bell icon so you never miss our latest NFL updates. Let's get into it. Chargers at Raiders, Week 2 game preview. And this one is different. Normally our game previews follow a familiar pattern: stats, matchups, injury reports. But not this time. This week isn't about numbers. It's about a story, a rivalry so deep and so personal that it's shaped decades of football. Hidden inside this Monday Night Football showdown is a headline many fans may have missed: Jim Harbaugh versus Pete Carroll. This isn't just another coaching matchup, it's history, grudges, and pride colliding under the bright lights. To understand why this matters so much, you have to go back. Way back. The first time these two crossed paths was in 1991. Jim Harbaugh was still slinging passes for the Chicago Bears. Pete Carroll was the defensive coordinator for the New York Jets. That's where Carroll first got a taste of Harbaugh as a competitor. Their paths kept intersecting. In 1995, Carroll was with the 49ers. Harbaugh, now in Indianapolis, got the better of him again. Then in 1997, roles reversed. Carroll had become a head coach with the Patriots and finally managed to sweep Harbaugh's Colts. Every chapter built the tension higher. Fast forward to college football, 2007. Carroll's USC Trojans were a powerhouse, ranked number 2 in the nation. Harbaugh had just taken over a struggling Stanford team with almost no chance of survival. USC was favored by 40 points. 40. Yet Harbaugh took that underdog team into the Coliseum and pulled off one of the biggest upsets in college football history. Carroll and the entire sport were stunned. And now here we are, decades later, with Harbaugh leading the Chargers and Carroll guiding the Raiders. Old rivalry, new stage. Monday Night Football is about to become the next chapter in a story that started long before most fans even realized. The tension between Jim Harbaugh and Pete Carroll didn't just simmer, it exploded. The year was 2009, and the stage was set for another seismic clash at the Coliseum. Harbaugh had a new weapon at quarterback, a young Andrew Luck, and he brought Stanford into enemy territory against a 9th-ranked USC squad brimming with swagger. What happened next turned a coaching rivalry into legend. For 3 quarters the game stayed competitive, 28-21. But in the 4th quarter, Harbaugh didn't just beat Carroll, he buried him. Stanford unleashed 4 unanswered touchdowns, refusing to ease up even as the clock ticked down. The Coliseum fell silent, Carroll fumed on the sideline. And then came the moment that would be replayed forever, midfield after the final whistle. Carroll glared at Harbaugh and snapped, "What's your deal?" Harbaugh, cool as ever, shot back with a smirk, "What's your deal?" It was a flash of pure, unfiltered rivalry, and it told the football world this feud was never going away. By 2010, both men were on diverging yet inevitable paths. Carroll jumped to the NFL to lead the Seattle Seahawks, while Harbaugh finished his own transformation at Stanford, turning a 1-11 program into a 12-1 powerhouse and capping it with an Orange Bowl victory. Suddenly every NFL team wanted him. And then the unthinkable. In 2011, Harbaugh took the head coaching job with the San Francisco 49ers, right into Carroll's division in the NFC West. The grudge that started in college would now play out on Sundays in front of millions, adding fuel to one of the fiercest modern rivalries in football. This is the chapter where the rivalry between Jim Harbaugh and Pete Carroll truly became fire and steel. When Harbaugh took over the San Francisco 49ers in 2011, they were a 6-10 team. Within a single season he transformed them into a 13-3 powerhouse and seized the NFC West crown. Across the sideline, Carroll was watching his old adversary reclaim the stage and beat his Seahawks twice in 1 year. The balance of power had shifted, and everyone in football could feel the tension. The next few seasons turned into an arms race. Harbaugh's 49ers barreled to a Super Bowl appearance, while Carroll's Seahawks assembled the legendary Legion of Boom and discovered their future franchise quarterback in Russell Wilson. Both teams became gladiators of the NFC, their games' blood and thunder battles decided by inches. Press conferences, sideline glares, and post-game jabs only added fuel to the fire. Carroll eventually captured the upper hand, leading Seattle to back-to-back Super Bowls and cementing a dynasty. Harbaugh clashed with San Francisco's front office, and by 2014 their relationship imploded. But even as he left for Michigan, he worked his old magic again, flipping a 5-7 program into a top 12 powerhouse and eventually guiding them to a national championship in 2023. Both coaches built reputations as program changers. Both created cultures that outlasted them. And now, after decades of parallel storylines, they're colliding again. Fast forward to today, Jim Harbaugh at the helm of the Los Angeles Chargers, taking a team that stumbled at 5-12 and flipping it to 11 wins in a single year alongside Justin Herbert. Enter Pete Carroll, stepping into the AFC West in 2025 to take over a wounded franchise still trying to find its footing. Two icons. One division. A rivalry renewed on Monday Night Football. Now we arrive at the present day, the next chapter of a rivalry decades in the making. Pete Carroll didn't come to the AFC West quietly. In a single offseason he reshaped the Raiders into a tougher, faster team, pairing veteran quarterback Geno Smith with explosive rookie running back Ashton Jeanty. It's a roster built to hit hard and control the clock, exactly the kind of football Carroll loves to play. Across the field stands Jim Harbaugh, now in his second year with the Chargers, already transforming them into one of the NFL's most disciplined and physical teams. This Monday Night Football clash isn't just a game, it's the first time Harbaugh and Carroll have squared off in 11 years, and the tension is real. You can feel it in their quotes, in their body language, in the way both franchises are preparing. Carroll recently joked there were no fond memories of his old rival. Harbaugh, dry as ever, said they'd have been friends if they were on the same team, but made it clear Carroll isn't on his Christmas card list. The stakes grow even bigger when you look at the rosters. Both teams went out and drafted the kind of running backs that can change an entire offense. For Las Vegas it's Ashton Jeanty, a rare blend of power, balance, and burst who can bounce off tackles and explode upfield, tailor-made for Carroll's ground-and-pound philosophy. For Los Angeles it's Amarian Hampton, a relentless workhorse out of UNC who posted monster numbers even when defenses keyed on him, a perfect complement to Justin Herbert's passing attack. This feels like a throwback to the days of elite running back duels, Gibbs versus Bijan, Marshawn versus Gore, and it's happening again in the AFC West. Two rookie phenoms, two visionary head coaches, and a rivalry that spans 3 decades all converging under the lights. This is more than a matchup, it's a statement game, and every snap will feel like a collision between past and future. All the backstory leads us to this: Monday night, 2 rookie running backs trying to prove they're worth the hype, and 2 head coaches whose rivalry is older than some of the players on the field. This isn't just a division game, it's the continuation of a decades-long chess match. Both Ashton Jeanty and Amarian Hampton came into the league with huge expectations, but Week 1 humbled them. Jeanty ran into a wall against New England's front 7, managing only a few tough yards despite finding the end zone. Hampton, meanwhile, faced Kansas City's stingy defense and fought for every inch. Those opening performances weren't fireworks, they were battle scars. And that's why this week matters so much. It's a chance for both rookies to make their real statement, in prime time, with the whole football world watching. But running backs aren't the only headline here. This game also pits Justin Herbert, perhaps the most complete quarterback Harbaugh has ever coached, against a Carroll defense built to frustrate star passers. In Week 1 Herbert looked as polished and dangerous as ever, commanding the huddle, dissecting coverages, taking off on scrambles when plays broke down. He went into a neutral site showdown against Kansas City and came out with an MVP-level performance. Leadership, vision, and composure, all on display. That's what makes this Monday night matchup so unpredictable. Will the Raiders key on Hampton and dare Herbert to beat them again through the air? Or will Harbaugh, master of adjustments, flip the script and unleash something entirely new? One thing's for sure, with these two coaches, nothing is off the table. This is the kind of heavyweight chess match where every snap feels like a reveal, every drive a turning point. And when the clock strikes kickoff, it won't just be the start of another AFC West game, it'll be the latest, and perhaps boldest, chapter in one of football's most enduring rivalries. All eyes will be on how Jim Harbaugh and Justin Herbert attack the Raiders in Week 2. Herbert is coming in hot, surrounded by a dangerous cast of playmakers, Quentin Johnston stretching the field, Ladd McConkey turning short passes into long gains, and you can feel the momentum building. But if the offense is the spark, the defense might be the fire that decides this game. This matchup has historically been a proving ground for the Chargers' pass rush, especially in the Khalil Mack era. Mack has been a nightmare for the Raiders ever since he left their locker room, 10.5 sacks and 3 forced fumbles in just 6 games against them. With the Raiders' offensive line wobbling early in the season, you get the sense Mack and Tuli Tuipulotu are licking their chops. 4, 5, even 6 sacks? Not impossible. And with Derwin James flying around in the secondary, turnovers feel inevitable. On the other side, though, is a quarterback who's quietly on fire. Geno Smith lit up New England in Week 1 with more than 300 passing yards and a rhythm that looked effortless. His chemistry with Pete Carroll goes back years, and he's clearly comfortable running this offense. That's the kind of thing that can ruin the best-laid defensive plans. Still, there's a massive difference between moving the ball on a rebuilding Patriots defense and threading it through a pass rush as relentless as the Chargers. Patrick Mahomes barely cracked 250 yards against this group, and if the reigning MVP struggled, Geno Smith's margin for error is razor-thin. Beyond Brock Bowers and Ashton Jeanty, the Raiders' weapons are young and largely untested. For Smith to pull off another big outing, he'll need near-perfect protection, something the Raiders haven't shown yet. That tension, Herbert's emerging dominance, Mack's vendetta, Geno's hot hand, and Pete Carroll's chess match with Harbaugh, is what makes this game feel like it's ready to explode. Every snap has stakes. Every drive has a storyline. This isn't just another AFC West showdown, it's a collision of past grudges, rising stars, and veteran masterminds all trying to one-up each other under the lights. Geno Smith proved in Week 1 that he can still sling it, but this time the field tilts heavily against him. The Chargers' defense has been sharpening its teeth all week, and their biggest circle on the game plan isn't Geno, it's Brock Bowers. Bowers is the kind of tight end who warps an entire defense. Think early Travis Kelce mixed with rookie-level explosiveness. Even if he's limited, reports all week have hinted at missed practices. Los Angeles can't afford to sleep on him. One snap, one seam route, and he can change the game. That's where Derwin James comes in. Few defenders in the league have faced more elite tight ends than James, and he's already voiced how eager he is for this matchup. If there's anyone who can shadow Bowers, jam him, and disrupt his rhythm, it's James. Their duel may be the single most important battle on Monday night. All of this swirls inside a bigger picture, the Chargers' brutal opening stretch. 3 straight AFC West games to kick off the season. They've already knocked off Kansas City, a statement win that electrified the locker room. Beating the Raiders would be another seismic push toward the top of the division, maybe even the statement that this is a different Chargers team under Harbaugh. Imagine starting 3-0 against your biggest rivals. Imagine the psychological swing for the rest of the season. Even 2-1 would keep Los Angeles firmly in control, but a clean sweep could reshape the AFC West entirely. On paper, the Chargers look like the sharper, more balanced team. The Raiders are talented but still assembling their identity, and injuries could make them vulnerable early. With Herbert in command, a punishing running game, and a defense designed to create chaos, Los Angeles enters this one as the clear favorite. If the Chargers deliver the performance they're capable of, expect a scoreline something like 27-17. That would lock down another divisional win and keep the momentum roaring into Week 3. More than just a win, it would be a signal to the entire league. The Bolts are not just contenders, they're setting the pace.